Many people watched a supernova explosion in the sky with naked eyes. A rare and magnificent event that always fascinates the lucky ones who see it from planet Earth. But some people might be scared of it. Is there any reason to be scared of a supernova explosion? And what was this supernova that was seen by many? And when did it happen? But what's a supernova? A supernova is a powerful and cataclysmic stellar explosion that occurs at the end of a star's life cycle. It is one of the most energetic events in the universe, during which a massive amount of energy is released, briefly outshining entire galaxies.
But what was this supernova that was seen by many? And when did it happen?
In the Milky Way, there have been less than 10 instances in recorded history when a supernova has been observed with the naked eye. One of those instances took place in 1181 when a rare supernova explosion appeared in the night sky, staying visible for 185 consecutive days. Historical records show that the supernova looked like a temporary star in the constellation Cassiopeia, shining as bright as Saturn. Numerous accounts of this supernova have been found in Japanese and Chinese scriptures. Both regions were graced with this spectacular event in the sky. While a diary entry by a member of the Japanese imperial court in September 1811 calls it a sign of abnormality, another saw it as an occasion for making auspicious offerings for a good harvest. This shows the contrast between modern science and ancient interpretations. The ancient Japanese and Chinese who recorded the event had no real idea what they were seeing. They were more like court bureaucrats than astronomers, and they were steeped in astrology, not science. But what is modern science today will be ancient in the future as well. As the scientist Marcello Gleiser said, "There's no final answers in science. There are the best answers we can give at a given moment in time."
But for centuries, the remnants of the supernova 1181 remained a mystery. In 1971, the year I was born, it was thought that it could be the nebula around the pulsar 3C58, the dense core of a collapsed star. Do you know what is a pulsar?
A pulsar is like a cosmic lighthouse in space. Instead of shining light, it sends out beams of energy and spins around really fast. When these beams point toward Earth, we see them as bright flashes, kind of like blinking stars. It's like a giant space flashlight that blinks on and off. However, closer investigations revealed that the pulsar is older than supernova 1181. Thus, they have no connection. But recently the mystery was uncovered. In the last decade, and according to NASA, another contender was discovered. PA30 is a nearly circular nebula with a central star in the Cassiopeia constellation. This composite image from several NASA and ESA telescopes uses data across the electromagnetic spectrum and shows a spectacular new view of the supernova remnant. It's the result of a merger of two stars. This allows us to marvel at the same object that appeared in our ancestors' night sky more than 800 years ago. A bright, multicolored spherical nebula sits in the middle of the canvas, surrounded by a field of stars that appear as white dots. In the center of the nebula is a small point of aqua-colored light. This is the hot white dwarf star that was left behind after the likely merger of two smaller white dwarfs caused an explosion. From this single point of aqua light, several spectacular rays expand outward, resembling a single firework bursting in celebration in the night sky. Studies of the composition of the different parts of the remnant have led scientists to believe that it was formed in a thermonuclear explosion, and more precisely, a special kind of supernova called a subluminous type IAX event. Only around 10% of supernovae are of this type, and they are not well understood yet. During this event, two white dwarf stars merged, and typically no remnant is expected for this kind of explosion. but incomplete explosions can leave a kind of zombie star, such as the massive white dwarf star in this system. This very hot star, one of the hottest stars in the Milky Way, about 200,000 degrees Celsius, has a fast stellar wind with speeds up to 16,000 kilometers per second. The combination of the star and the nebula makes it a unique opportunity for studying such rare explosions. This is the only type IX supernova where detailed studies of the remnant star and nebula are possible, allowing scientists to solve both a historical and an astronomical mystery. But is this a supernova? Like Betelgeuse's star explosion we've been waiting for? Well, this is not like Betelgeuse, but has the same level of danger to us on Earth. Actually, Betelgeuse has been exhibiting an unusual behavior, including dimming, which led to speculation about its imminent explosion. However, it's important to note that predicting exactly when Betelgeuse might go supernova is extremely challenging. While it's true that Betelgeuse is nearing the end of its life cycle and could potentially explode within the next 100,000 years, a relatively short time frame in astronomical terms, pinpointing a more precise time frame is beyond our current capabilities. A supernova explosion of Betelgeuse would be a spectacular event, visible even during the daytime from Earth, but as of now, there hasn't been any new prediction or update suggesting that its explosion is imminent. Astronomers continue to monitor Betelgeuse and other stars in the hope of gaining a better understanding of stellar evolution and the processes leading up to supernova events. Betelgeuse recently had a super rare occultation by an asteroid, and we watched the event in real time with my telescope, transmitting to thousands of sky lovers all over the world. But is it dangerous to Earth? Well, generally, a supernova must be relatively close to Earth to pose any direct danger. Fortunately, the vast majority of supernova occur at distances great enough that they don't pose any significant threat to Earth or its inhabitants.
So as you can see, you should not be worried about any supernova that can happen in the sky, at least the ones that are far away from us, which was the case of SN 1181, and should be the case of the Betelgeuse supernova when it occurs. But there's a nova super explosion that will be visible in naked eye. It's TCRB, T-Corbor or T Corona Borealis nova event. It's different than a supernova, and we are tracking every night that we can with the telescope outside, so you will know it when it happens in this channel. Stay tuned. Check this video over here if you want to know more about it. You don't wanna miss this fascinating event.